Welcome to the Novus ERP tutorial. In this tutorial, you will learn how to create a chart of accounts, also known as the COA in Novus ERP. The chart of accounts is the backbone of your accounting system. Every financial transaction eventually posts to one of these accounts, including assets, liabilities, equity, income, and expenses. In this tutorial, we'll look at 3 different ways to set up your chart of accounts. You can use an industry template, import accounts from a CSV file, or create accounts manually. Let's get started. Before creating anything, make sure you've selected the correct company from the company switcher. Every company has its own separate chart of accounts, so it's important to make sure you're working in the correct company. Another important point is that once an account has been used in a journal entry, you generally cannot freely edit or delete it. Instead, the account should be archived. That's why it's always a good idea to plan your account codes carefully before you begin. Now let's open the chart of accounts. From the dashboard, go to Accounting, then click Chart of Accounts from the left menu. If you're working with a brand new company, you may see that the chart of accounts is empty. Novus ERP gives you 3 options. You can load an industry template, import a chart of accounts, or create the accounts manually. Let's begin with the fastest option. Click Load Industry Template. A window will appear asking you to choose an industry template. Currently, Novus provides a manufacturing template. This template includes the common accounting accounts that you would normally need. These include cash, bank, accounts receivable, accounts payable, inventory, sales, expenses, taxes, and many more. You'll also see a preview before generating the accounts. Notice that most account codes follow a 6-digit numbering system. For example, cash accounts usually begin around 111,000, receivables around 113,000, and payables around 211,000. Once you're satisfied with the preview, simply click Generate Chart of Accounts. Within a few seconds, your complete chart of accounts will be created. There is one important limitation. The industry template feature only works when the company's chart of accounts is completely empty. If accounts already exist, Novus ERP blocks the template generation to prevent accidental overwriting of existing accounting data. In that situation, you'll need to import accounts or create new accounts manually. After the chart of accounts has been generated, you can search by account name, search by account code, filter by account type, or group accounts by financial category. You'll also notice that contra accounts, such as accumulated depreciation, appear under their related asset accounts. Now let's look at the second option, importing a chart of accounts from a CSV file. If you're migrating from Excel or another ERP system, importing a CSV is usually the best option. First, click Sample CSV to download the template. This ensures that your columns match exactly with what Novus ERP expects. The important columns include account code, account name, account type or account type code, and allow reconciliation. There are also optional columns for contra accounts. Whenever possible, use account type codes instead of account names. They are more reliable and help avoid import errors. Save the file as a UTF-8 CSV and then upload it to Novus ERP. Novus ERP will automatically check the accounts. New account codes will be created, existing codes will be updated, and once the import is complete, you'll receive a summary showing how many accounts were created and updated. You can also export your chart of accounts anytime for backup or offline editing. Now let's create an account manually. Click New Account. The first field is the account code. Enter a unique code. For example, you could use 112,100 for an HBL current account. Next, enter the account name. In this example, we'll enter HBL current account. Now choose the account type. If similar account codes already exist, Novus ERP may automatically suggest the correct type. However, if you're working with an empty chart of accounts, select the account type manually. Financial tags are optional. In most cases, you can leave them empty. Next is Allow Reconciliation. This should usually be enabled for receivable accounts, payable accounts, advance accounts, clearing accounts, and often bank accounts as well. Internal notes are optional and are only visible to your team. If you're creating a fixed asset account, you can also link its accumulated depreciation account inside the contra section. Once everything looks correct, click Save. Your new account will now appear in the chart of accounts. Remember, if you ever stop using an account, don't delete it. Simply archive it. Accounts that already contain transactions become read-only in order to preserve the accounting history. Now let's quickly review the account types you'll use most often. These include bank and cash, accounts receivable, accounts payable, current assets, fixed assets, equity, income, expenses, cost of revenue, and tax-related accounts. These account types determine how transactions appear in your financial reports. Creating the chart of accounts is only the first step. Next, you'll need to connect these accounts throughout your ERP. Open Company Special Accounts or your company settings. Here you'll configure accounts such as the default receivable account, inventory accounts, cost of goods sold, work in progress, transit accounts, and foreign exchange gain and loss accounts if you're using multiple currencies. One important thing to remember is that there isn't a company-wide default payable account. Instead, every vendor should have its own accounts payable account assigned. Similarly, every customer should have its own accounts receivable account configured. Finally, open your bank journal. Make sure the default account points to your actual bank GL account. If you're using transit or outstanding accounts, configure those here as well. Once these mappings are complete, your accounting system is ready for invoices, payments, and bank reconciliation. Before we finish, let's look at a few common mistakes to avoid. Always verify that you're working in the correct company. Don't try to load an industry template into a company that already has accounts. If your chart of accounts is empty, don't rely on automatic account type detection. Choose the account type manually. Never delete accounts that already have transactions. Archive them instead. And when importing a CSV, always use the correct account type codes to avoid validation errors. And that's how you create a chart of accounts in Novus ERP. Whether you choose the industry template for a quick setup, import your existing chart of accounts from another system, or create accounts manually, Novus ERP makes the entire process simple and organized. After setting up your chart of accounts, don't forget to configure your company defaults, customer receivable accounts, vendor payable accounts, and bank journal accounts. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. Thank you for watching.